Do you know the place where sake is produced most in Japan? We are gonna take you a virtual online tour for Nadagogo, which is the largest sake producing region in Japan. Are you ready? Let's go! Nadagogo, the 5 villages of Nada, are 5 area-based groupings of sake breweries in the cities of Kobe and Nishinomiya, Hyogo Prefecture. This area is quite convenient both from Sannomiya, the center of Kobe, and Umeda, the center of Osaka. You can take Hanshin Railway and get off Uozaki Station that all limited express trains stop by. Don't forget to bring prepaid transportation card, either Pitapa, Ikoka, or Seika. From Uozaki Station, you can go to 3 major sake breweries for less than 10 minutes on foot. Let's visit Hamafukuturu Ginjo Kobo first. The Ginjo Kobo opened in 1996 is a glass enclosed facility where you can see the entire sake brewing process with a sort of broadly sharing the traditional culture of Japanese sake making with many people. The Ginjo Kobo is filled with picturesque spots. Please enjoy taking your commemorative photos. At the entrance, you will be welcomed by silver big tanks, a very big traditional sake barrel, and a well called Fountain of Life. After you sanitize your hands at the entrance gate, you are going to be a direct sales corner. You can buy sake that can only be purchased at the Ginjo Kobo and various original products. On the second floor, let's learn the history and culture of sake making. It is a place to experience sake making through a glass-walled corridor. Before you see each process of sake making, you will grasp the whole process by big chart on the wall, and then you will see the working facilities to make the current sake. Steeping tank. Here the washed rice absorbs water in preparation for steaming. Small tanks are used in this brewery so that absorption can be done in precise units of time according to the characteristics of each particular batch of rice. Steaming and cooling of rice. Steaming the rice is a vital step in the sake brewing. This process will have a subtle yet important effect on the fermentation of the sake. During this stage, technicians will judge when the rice has been sufficiently steamed based on its aroma and texture. The steamed rice is cooled and separated according to how it will be used. Shubo room, high quality yeast cultivating processes. Cultivation is carried out with steamed rice, koji, their own well water, and their specially developed yeast. Ginjo room is a fermentation room where rice grains are polished and reduced to 50% of their original size, which will be used to make dai ginjo. This room is relatively small in order to precisely control the fermentation process. Pressing and squeezing room. The substance produced during the fermentation process, rice mash and liquid mixed together, is separated into unprocessed sake and sake extract. Fermentation tank. Main fermentation process in which morumi is produced. The purely cultivated shubo is moved to this fermentation tank to where steamed rice, koji spores, and water are added over a 4-day period. After experiencing traditional culture, you can taste freshly squeezed, limited edition, unpasteurized sake at the sake tasting corner. Enjoy comparing the different types of rice and the brewing methods. The Kiku-Masamune Sake Brewery Museum is dedicated to sharing with you knowledge of the origins of sake brewing. It brings you the true joy of knowledge by providing information and hands-on experience regarding the world of sake brewing, as well as its past, present, and future. Here, you will see the 3 things. Number 1, the process of sake brewing and the tools used for it. Number 2, techniques, water, rice, and the natural environment, which are all indispensable for sake brewing in Nada. And number 3, brewers' enthusiasm and devotion to the tradition of sake brewing. Let's get to know Kiku-Masamune's spread of the Kimoto method and the work and lives of the sake brewers. Kaishoba. Brewers work very hard to make sake from autumn to spring. This is a place to eat, drink, and have a rest and relax for brewers. Since they had to work while the air was cool to produce koji sake, they kept unusual hours, waking up at 2:30 in the early hours. Araiba. The area was for roasting the polished rice by trampling on them with bare feet. The brewer washed the vast quantity of rice, about 2 tons a day, with their bare feet in the dead of winter. Icy water in the winter made it a harsh task. Kamaba. Water was boiled in a cauldron on a stove, and the rice steamer was placed on top to steam rice. Since the steamed rice was hot, brewers wore straw sandals to climb inside the steamer to remove the rice to cool. The work was done from midnight to dawn. Kojimuro. The room was for cultivating koji. The steamed rice made in kamaba was placed in the kojimuro and sprinkled with sake mold to let it grow. Motoba. Moto becomes Japanese sake starter mash and is also called shibo. Rice koji, steamed rice, and water were placed in shallow barrel and mashed with a paddle to cultivate sake yeast. The sake yeast cultivated by the Kimoto method is highly fermentative and makes dry sake. Tsukurigura. The moto made in the Kimoto method was added with rice koji, steamed rice, and water in 3 mashing stages to let the mixture ferment. Moromi has reached approximately 20% alcohol content after 3 weeks. Hunaba. Matured moromi was poured into a sake bag and placed in the sake press. The jobs of conveying moromi and removing the solids were physically taxing, and the brewery was the busiest during the period for moromi making and sake pressing. Kakoiba. The brew was stored in a barrel for 6 months to a year to let it mature and develop its aroma and taste. It weathered the summer and became sake in the autumn. Kiku-Masamune has partnered with Andres Iniesta, who joined Vissel Kobe football team for their 360th anniversary. At sake tasting area, you can try freshly pressed, unpasteurized, and undiluted sake and experience sake tasting for free. They offer unpasteurized sake, which is not for sale, and Kojiro plum sake. The shop sells sake and original merchandise exclusive to the museum. Hakutusuru Sake Brewing Corporation has opened their old sake brewhouse in its original form to the public as the Sake Brewery Museum. Their hope in doing so is to give visitors a feel of tradition of sake making that has been carried down through the ages and to broadly and deeply convey the heart of Japan to the sake making world. Various sake production implements are on display, including a huge vat made of Japanese cedar once used for fermentation. The dough replicates the traditional procedure of making sake and the tools which were used for the making. This shows the details as close as possible to reflect its originality. Let's review important process of sake making with the dough and the tools of Hakutusuru. Rice mold making. Rice mold is incubated in a special room that is kept hot and humid. The room for making koji is called kojimuro. Cooling. Steamed rice is divided into soe, naka, tome, moro, and kojiyo, and they get cooled down individually at the cooling storage. Seed mash. Koji and steamed rice are divided into half. The amount of water is adjusted at the gather spout and poured onto them in the preparation tab. Main mash, moromi. The moromi is made by adding the steamed rice, koji, and water to the mortar. The ingredients are added in 3 stages and the volume of the mash is doubled on each occasion. Inside the tub, the starch in the rice is converted into sugars by the koji and the sugar is converted to alcohol by the yeast. It's the most unique characteristic of sake brewing that these two reactions happen simultaneously. Pasteurization and storage. In order to prevent degradation during storage, freshly brewed sake is heated in a large cauldron at about 60 degrees Celsius. This is called heater. Pasteurized sake is stored in a vat for half a year or more. After being stored for a period of time, sake acquires its mellow taste. Barreling. Clear sake gets barreled in the Yonto casks made of selected Yoshino cedar, and then gets shipped out. The casks get wrapped around with the brand trademarked woven straw mats and rope. At sake tasting section, the freshly brewed sake, which is only available here at the museum, offers unspeakable taste and flows down your throat very smoothly. There are various kinds of sake available too. Enjoy your sake in the afterglow of a whole new experience of this sake making tour. Hakutusuru launched a new generation sake Bekkak lineup. This lineup is produced by young employees who are passionate about creating new sake for the young generation. They successfully raised the money by crowdfunding, and they hope Bekkak opens a new sake world. Please try new sake that suits even Western foods. SAKAGURA Sawanotusuru Sake Museum was opened in 1978 in order to leave the history of sake brewing to future generations. The museum, as well as the tools for sake brewing, was specified as an important tangible cultural property by Hyogo Prefecture. Unfortunately, the museum was completely destroyed by the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake. In 3 years and 7 months after the calamity, it was reconstructed in 1999 with an earthquake-proof system as a valuable cultural property. You will find a unique funaba below the ground. This funaba, discovered by the Board of Education Kobe, is supposed to have been built below the ground to catch sake easily in moromi pressing process. Senmai and Mushimai Corner. Here are exhibited huge koshiki and oke for washing rice. There is also a huge cauldron of about 2 meters 30 centimeters in diameter and 1 meter 95 centimeter deep. Fermentation Corner. Here are exhibited various sized bags and pails used for sandanjikomi, 3 steps of fermentation. Sandanjikomi means making unfiltered sake where the yeast and rice are added over 3 steps to the yeast mash or mortar to provide a mild environmental agent for yeast to adapt to. Jouso Corner. Moromi is separated into sake and sake leaves by pressing. Here is exhibited the equipment like fune, in which moromi was compressed with the lever mechanism to let sake drip from the top. What makes sake in Nara so special? Nara region near Rokko Mountains brings good fortune to their craft of making sake. Extreme temperature swings on the north side of the mountain are ideal for growing their sake rice. Cold winds blowing down the south side are perfect to slow the fermentation process. Local mountain streams supply naturally pure water, miyamis, with just the right mineral content. It is with these basic ingredients that they have been making their signature sake. Moto Jikomi Corner. Here exhibited a moto oke, yeast incubator tub, and the other various tools needed for sake brewing. Taru Kaizen. This kind of ship, which carried such a large quantity of sake in Nara to Edo, present Tokyo, in Edo period, more than 130 years ago, helped prosperity of sake in Nara. Molding Corner. In this mural, you can see the process as well as the tools for molding rice. The koji room, which is used to make koji, affects the quality of sake. It has been reported that 40 hours after putting steamed rice in the room, old people worked without sleep. After enjoying the tradition and culture of sake in Nara, you can drop into Sawanotusuru Museum Shop. You will find a wide variety of items, including refined sake of Sawanotusuru brand, sake tasting corner, etc. Established in 1751, Kobe Shushinkan Brewery is a well-known maker of a popular sake called FUKUJU. You can purchase handmade sake right from the barrel after their sake tasting. The brewery property includes a courtyard surrounded by the main plant that houses a brewing facility, a Japanese restaurant focusing on fine cuisine complemented by their own fine sake, and a shop offering sake and tableware. Here, we are gonna introduce 3 major types of FUKUJU. FUKUJU Gold Label. Daiginjo sake is made exclusively from Yamada Nishiki rice, cultivated in Hyogo Prefecture. It features a refreshing bouquet reminiscent of white peach and pear and elegant taste. FUKUJU Blue Label. Pronounced aromas of cream, white pepper and cereal. It is highly recognized by sommeliers from around the world. It was served at the banquet dinner at the Nobel Prize Award ceremony several years. FUKUJU Green Label. Junmai Mikagego sake has a rich flavor worthy of its title as Nada no Kippon. Its refreshing flavor makes it perfect for dishes with strong flavors such as risotto. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed the virtual experience as if you were also in the Sake Brewery Museum. We are looking forward to seeing you in Japan to have a real sake brewery tour in the future. Kanpai!